Well, good evening and welcome to Connect DC's July 2022 full moon meditation. Today I am coming to you from the ancestral lands of the Piscataway people. As a member of an earth honoring tradition, and a person of European descent, it is important for me to acknowledge the often brutal history of settler colonialism in the United States, and to give gratitude to the communities who have sorry, who have tended this land since time immemorial and who continue to do so. Oh, goodness, excuse me. I offer respect to their elders, past, present, and future, and I honor their truths. Excuse me. I got a tickle in my throat there. So I am Angela Raincatcher, and I am the convener for Connect DC. We are a Wiccan-based public ritual group based in Washington, DC. And we provide a spiritual home where the community can come together to observe and honor the cycles of nature and life. This year, 2022, we are rooting our rituals in the soil of our embodied experiences so that we can nurture and strengthen healthy and loving connections as we grow within our communities and our lives. I just want to start off by saying today, whoa, it's been a month. There's been a lot happening in the world since the last time we were together. You know, the January 6th insurrection hearings have been ongoing, and a lot of things that we may have wished about our country has kind of been pulled away, ripped away from our eyes as we've watched. And I know there have been many of you all who have been affected both emotionally and mentally and actually in your real, physical lives by the string of Supreme Court rulings a few weeks back. I know I have. And many of us have been just carrying this burden of grief and anger and despair, feelings of betrayal, feelings of hopelessness. And that's a lot to carry, because we're not only carrying our own individual emotions and grief, but we're also carrying the grief of the community, of society, of the world. And yet we are expected in our society to continue on as if none of this really affects our day-to-day lives. The next day we go to work, we say hello to people, we put dinner on the table, we pay the bills, we watch whatever is on Netflix. We continue to do all the things that need to be done in order to live in this world. And sometimes we don't have the time or the space to really grieve, to express all of those emotions that are welling up in us. No place seems like it has the space to do that. No place seems to be the appropriate place to do that. And many of us, just no longer have the community to hold us in our grief, to allow us to let that flow through us so that it can move. I had a conversation with my therapist about how these emotions get stuck in our bodies, and drawing upon the lessons of that I've learned through my work with Connect DC and Reflections Mystery School with Katrina Messenger, looking at the flow of the river as something that can help me in allowing these emotions to flow so they don't get stuck and stagnate in my body and in my psyche. And so that is what I want us to do today. We're actually going to do a water practice that I learned in a couple of different places. I learned it most recently from my teacher, Katrina Messenger, but I also remember reading it back in the 80s from Spiral Dance, I believe, Starhawk Spiral Dance. And it's gone by many different names, but it also comes to us from fairy tradition, Feri tradition, as called making kala water. And so I invite you to get a glass of clear, clean water. And it doesn't have to be a fancy glass, and it doesn't really even have to be a big glass. It could just be, a glass from the kitchen. And pour some water in there. I've got quite a bit. You don't have to put this much in there, but you might want to get a little bit of water in that glass. And so when you get a chance to do that, and so when you've got your glass of water, I invite you to hold that glass of water in front of you. You can either hold it, I find either holding it at my heart or holding it, at my forehead. I just like the coolness of the glass on my skin. But for right now, I'm going to hold it at my heart. And just take a few moments to bring your attention to your breathing. Bring your attention to your body. Feel the places where your body touches the chair or the floor. Whatever you're sitting on or standing on or laying on, just allow your attention to really notice the places where your body meets the earth. And just bring your attention to your breath and your breathing. And now, either within your mind, in your heart, or even out loud, you can say a few words to invite the spirits, the gods and the goddesses to help you, any that you work with. If you don't know them, you can always call on your ancestors. You call upon the plant and animal spirits of the land that you live on. And just ask them to be present with you. We call upon you, spirits, to be with us. To stand around us, the spirits of goodwill, bright and shining ancestors. call upon the gods and goddesses of our people and of our communities to stand around us, to witness us, to hold us in this time of mourning, this time of grief and anger. We ask you to lift us and hold us in your arms, to support us as we do this work. And just take a moment to feel them start to gather around and support you. You might feel a change in the atmosphere around you. You may feel them touch you. You might smell something in the air like floral or spicy scent. However, they usually let you know they're there. And when you can feel them, just take a moment and let us say, welcome, blessed be. And now I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to your heart, to your mind, to your body, to any place within you that is heavy or tight, heavy with grief or tight with anger and stress. And just invite that tightness, invite that heaviness to come forward. Allow that grief, that anger, invite it to come forward, to come up. Welcome it. Welcome it in its difficulty. Welcome it in its pain. If you're in a place that is safe for you to do so, allow yourself to really feel that emotion. Let it come up and really flow through you. You can feel the tears behind your eyes, maybe the rage in your throat. If you want to scream, scream. Allow that energy to flow up and up. And I usually allow it to come up and into my mouth, into this area, right here in the front of my mouth. Really feel it, experience it, name it. Continuing to breathe through this whole process, you need to breathe. And when it is right there on the tip of your tongue, when you have it and you want to breathe it out, when you want to vomit it out, just take a deep breath in and then pick up your glass of water and just breathe. Breathe all the hurt and all the grief and all the anger. Just breathe that out and into the water. Breathe in and breathe all of that out. Breathe it right into the water, because water is a magical substance that can release and untangle and kind of open up some of that tension and anger and rage. It can take it in and just open it up a little bit. And if you're feeling like there's still more there, and oh gosh, if you're like me, there's always still more there. Just take a deep breath in and let it collect in your mouth and breathe it out. Right into the water. And after you've done this a few times, check back in with your body. Check back into those places that were heavy and tight before. And just notice. Notice if they are still as tight as they were, if they're maybe a little looser, a little lighter. And if you feel like you need to allow it to continue to flow, inviting the grief and the anger and the despair and the sadness, inviting it to come up and out of you. You may see or hear or feel the emotions you felt before, what caused this grief, or you may not know. It may just be this like underlying upwelling. And as you allow yourself to experience it, to agree, let it come up, pull it up out of your body. Ask it, come up out of my body, into my mouth, to the tip of my tongue. I'm going to breathe in. There it is on the tip of my tongue, and I'm going to breathe it out again. Right into the water. And just feel like, just do that as much as you feel is necessary for you. Breathing up, breathing it out, breathing it into the water. Now, when you look into the water, you might see that it's a little gray, a little murky. Maybe it's thick. Just notice what that water looks like to you. It's probably not water that at this point we want to drink. It's got all that ick in it that we've brought up, all that grief and anger and emotions that we've pulled up and breathed into the water. And that's only the first part. It's only the first part. Now we're going to transform this water. We're going to transform this water into healing water. And we're going to do that, again, through our breath. We're using really basic tools here: our imagination, our attention, our breath, water. All of this is magic you can do anywhere with any of these. And so now we want to fill this water and fill ourselves with life force energy. And to do that, we just kind of soften our eyes, soften our bodies a bit. Just as we begin to look around the room with our soft eyes, with our inner eyes, just know that everything around you, everything that has physical manifestation is life force energy. The wall is life force energy. The window is life force energy. The chair that I'm sitting in is life force energy. The painting behind me is life force energy. It's all life force energy that's been condensed down into physical form. But then the air all around us is life force energy. It's just life force energy, or mana, or sexual energy, however you want to put a word around it. It's all energy that we can bring into our body and that we can use to transform our water from water that holds all of our grief and anger to water that heals us, heals and unloosens and untangles that grief and that anger. And so as you're looking around the room, as you're feeling the room around you, feeling all that life force energy swirling around you, what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 really deep breaths. And when you breathe in, you're going to breathe and you're going to suck in all of that life force energy. And then you're going to, as you're exhaling the carbon dioxide, you're going to ask the younger part of yourself, that child self, the younger self, the sticky one, you're going to ask it to hold on to the life force energy, just to hold on to it for you. All right, so we're going to do that 3 times, all right? So this first time, just all that life force energy, let's take a deep breath. And take a breath in. Oh, and then ask your child self to hold onto that life force energy as you exhale. Oh. And then take another deep breath in, all of that life force energy. Hold it in. Oh, hold that life force energy in as you exhale. Oh, and then you should really start to be feeling a little full with it. But now we're going to take one more deep breath in and really fill yourself up with life force energy. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to. Oh, and hold it. Hold that life force energy in as you exhale. Hold it. Hold it. Oh, gosh. And now you should really feel your whole body thrumming with that life force energy. Yes. Yes. And now we're going to pick up our water again. We're going to take another deep breath in. And when you breathe in, then you're going to ask all that life force energy to come out and into the water. So let's breathe in. And now we'll breathe out all the life force energy. Into that water. And now I'm going to hold my glass of water and I'm going to ask all my bright and shining ancestors, all my spirit helpers, my gods and goddesses, the ones that I work with and the ones of my community, plant and animal spirits, all of you who have gathered around me. Take this life force energy and the energy of the water and transform it into healing water. Healing water that I can bring back into my body to loosen all of the grief, to loosen and dissolve the grief and the anger, to bring healing, release, relaxation into my body, vitality of life force into my body and into my life. And when I look down into the water this time, I see it, I feel it, I imagine that it is sparkling and glowing, that it is vibrating with that life force energy, with that mana, with that sexual energy. Oh, and this is healing water, this water here. And with thanks, I take a drink, and I invite you to take a drink. And as you drink the water, it carries the life force energy, it carries the healing energy throughout your body. It infuses your cells, it infuses your ethereal body, it infuses all the parts of you. And take another drink. Some of you might notice that the water tastes a little different than it usually does, or that you feel it differently as it moves into your mouth and into your body. Let's take another drink. You see water and life force energy and life itself, and our emotions are meant to move and to flow. The healthy river flows downstream to meet the ocean. And so while we live in this world that often doesn't give us the space to experience our emotions, especially our negative emotions, it doesn't allow us the space to experience our anger, and our grief. When you can find the time to do so, pour yourself a glass of water. And you can do what we just did together, you can do on your own, calling in your spirits, and allow yourself to have those emotions, to process them, allow them to flow like the healthy river. I'm going to take another drink of my kava water. And with that, thank you all for joining me tonight. I invite you to leave feedback in the comments below and to share your experience with this practice. I'd love to hear how it works for you all, what experience you have with it. And please, of course, click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video when it is posted. All of Connect DC's events for 2022 can be found on our website, which is connectdc.org. Our next event is our Lammas celebration on Sunday, July 31st at noon Eastern Time, in person at Tumor Sanctuary in Washington, D.C. Our next two upcoming online events are our Dark Moon Message on Thursday, July 28th, and our Full Moon Meditation on August 11th. Those are both at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find those at our Connect DC Facebook page and also at our YouTube channel. And finally, if you have found value in tonight's meditation and would like to support the work of Connect DC, please donate to Connect DC through our donate button on our website at connectdc.org. And now I give thanks to you for coming, for watching this video and participating with me. I give thanks to my spirit helpers. I give thanks to our bright and shining ancestors. I give thanks to the gods and goddesses. I give thanks to the spirit, to the animal and plant spirits. So go out, do your work. May the gods be with you. Peace and blessed be.